Hello, everyone. Welcome to U.S. History since 1945. Dr. Matthew Johnson. Welcome to the course. I apologize for the early Blackboard glitches. It's better to get these glitches out of the way early, though, than to struggle through them later in the semester. Luckily, we've scheduled a light week this first week, so you can get acquainted with the components of Blackboard, the Blackboard site, and start thinking about what historians actually do. And so this is a course where you will get to pursue your own research project with primary sources. But first, we need to get acquainted with the basic historical methods, right? And so you'll find in the syllabus that we're reading a piece by William Cronin this first week that introduces you to some of the core ideas that make history a profession. And I'm only asking you to read the first 6 pages, and I marked on the PDF where I'd like you to stop reading, and you can find that in our weekly folder. You'll see on the syllabus that I ask you to turn in a response in most weeks. And you can find those responses in our weekly folder on Blackboard. On weeks where I ask you to read a book or an article, you'll respond to a set of questions about the reading. Other weeks, I might ask you to respond to a video lecture or simply explain the progress of your research. And you can see the response questions for the first week here. It's really just one question. And so when you fill out these responses, I expect you to write at least a paragraph to these questions. And if I ask for you to give examples, always provide at least three examples. There's no timer on these responses, and you can open and close them as many times as you need before you submit. And I suggest looking at the response questions at the start of each week because they're meant to help you focus on what I think is most important. Going back to the syllabus. I make the material for each week available by Monday morning, and the response is due by Friday at 11:59 p.m. So please don't ask to see the material early for the next week, and this is really for 2 reasons. First, in the lecture videos, especially for the first weeks when we read these books, I start by addressing any issues that I saw in the responses from the previous week. So for example, if there was a major point in the reading that most people missed, I'll spend some time on that. And later in the course, if there's a common mistake or question that I see, I'll address that in the next week's video. And so to do that, I can't pre-record videos before I read your responses that are due on Friday. And so the second reason is I don't want you to jump ahead and try to complete 2 or 3 weeks of material in a few days. Right? I want you to spend some time thinking about the material for that week, rather than looking at the course as simply like a race. And so if that's not what you're looking for, then you need to find another class. All right, so let's spend a little bit of time talking about the big project for the course. You're going to write a 10-page research paper. And the reason that we're flying through 4 books early in the semester is to make sure that you have time to complete the necessary research and write a long paper. And we're also flying through these books because they will provide the possible topics for your research. In week 6, I'll provide you with a list of possible research projects, and you can choose from topics on the history of the civil rights movement, natural disasters, Vietnam and the rise of the modern army, and Christianity and capitalism. And so I'll end this kind of short lecture or short kind of introduction by just warning you that this is a difficult class to take online. I'll be here for you throughout the semester to help you. We can talk on the phone or on Skype as much as you need, but understand that this is not a class that you can just devote an hour or 2 each week and still pass. right? This is a 4,000 level research class. It takes an extra level of motivation and discipline to fulfill the course requirements, since you're not required to be in a classroom 2 or 3 times a week. And so please make sure to that you have the time to devote to this class. And the other thing that I'll mention quickly, the syllabus has the 4 books that you need to buy. Make sure that you get those as soon as possible. You can see when you need them in the schedule down here, but we're going to move through these quickly, so make sure that you have them the week that we're reading them. All right, so with that out of the way, I'm looking forward to guiding you through the readings and your research. Remember that you can always email me or ask to set up a phone or a Skype meeting. And I know that many of you are taking this course because you're working. I'm always willing to accommodate your schedule to talk with you.